diction reflects so well on you. So we just pronounce our vowel sounds by saying I-O-U. Indeed. There's never any trouble here in Bubble Land. Welcome back to Words Wednesday on HQTV. We're coming to you live from Hollywood with yet another game of word puzzles to enrich your brain and maybe your wallet. But first, here's the skinny on how this will all play out. First, you'll be given a wheel. Spin it to get a free letter that'll be revealed to you throughout the game. Next, I'll give you clues to our 12 word puzzles. Use the clue, your intelligence, and the keypad at the bottom within 20 seconds to tap out the letters to the answer. If you guess the wrong letter, you'll get a strike. If you use up all of your strikes, you're out for the night. If you have an extra life, you can use it to get a second chance except on the final puzzle. If you get to the final puzzle and solve it correctly, you'll win a share of that cash prize. All right? You're going to do great. We're also going back to school here on HQTV. I'll explain more, but first let's go to that wonderful intro by Russell Weiner. Good evening, word nerds! This is HQTV Words, the game where the fastest fickle fingers of fate formulate phrases and phonics for fun and frivolity with me, Farad Muhammad. And I am joined by 40-plus players. So glad you could all join us. If you have friends who have already jailbroken the app, tell them to join in right now. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow the HQTV team on Twitter at right now and open the link within using either the QR code or the text link. You'll be invited to converse with each other beyond the little chat at the bottom of your screen here. And hey, if you'd like to be a part of the HQTV crew, whether it's to host, write, or many other ways to volunteer, you let us know by via our Discord or our Twitter. As always, this independently made fan game is not produced by HQ Trivia LLC. Also, let us know on the Twitter or Discord if anything goes askew during tonight's games. I have 12 word puzzles for you, along with 9 strikes, but hopefully you won't need them. If you get to the last puzzle and solve it correctly, you will win or share the cash prize of $5. However, if you'd like to donate your winnings back to HQTV to keep these games coming, there should be a donate button where your winnings are listed in the app. We're also in the midst of our back-to-school season here on HQTV. From now until the end of September, you will earn points by answering correctly during words, trivia, or the daily challenges. Once you get to 5,000 points, you move up to level 1, and you reach higher levels when you earn more points. For each level, you will earn a permanent free strike for the rest of the season. You can also collect coins by playing words, trivia, or the daily challenges, and use those coins to get extra lives, erasers, and super spins in the store section of this app. Super spins give you more letters from the wheel that will be given to you throughout the game. And speaking of which, it's time to spin that wheel around my face. So spin, spin, spin. Round and round it goes. Where it stops is right over my nose. Alrighty then. May that letter or letters aid you in your journey. Let me know what letter you got in the chat. Let's take a look and see what we got in the chat over here. Got an A. Okay, got another A, another A. Okay, we've got an A and a life, A and a questionable life. Okay, let's go on right here. All right, then, let's get to it. It's time for the first puzzle of the game. So, put on your thinking caps, grab the latest edition of the Encyclopedia of New York City, and let's dive right in. This game is broadcast around the country and around the world, actually, but over here in the HQ Universal Studios in beautiful San Fernando Valley, we recently had a massive heat wave and temperatures with these 110s over the last several days. We managed to break that by going to the high 80s. That's just frigid over here. Wave, it could have been worn all on its own with a pair of pants or shorts, of course. However, the heat wave seems to have broken a bit, and well, that's unfortunate. That's kind of like that. Anyway, this shirt is named after a similar-looking sweater worn by rowers. Alrighty then, it's one of the most common and popular cuts of the classic T-shirt, otherwise known as the crew neck. Yes, indeed. It looks like 33 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 20 of you were a bit of a size too small there, but hopefully you can be able to use that extra life there. Anyway, it's now time to pack up your crew necks, your pants, your undies, and toiletries because we are going on a family road trip. Now, automobiles come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, but if you wanted to bring the family along for the ride, this is the sort of passenger car you would need to drive. I definitely remember these sorts of cars becoming increasingly popular in the 1990s. It's bigger than a sedan, but smaller than a Hummer. Like the Hummer, though, it's good for gas guzzlers, which wasn't really a problem when gas was $1 a gallon. Now that it's around $3 to $5 a gallon, they sort of fell out of favor in more recent years, and they kind of been supplanted by a lot of electric or hybrid cars. Anyway, get your luggage in the trunk and fold down the back seats because we're driving across the country in an SUV, or Sport Utility Vehicle. And it looks like the 29 of you managed to get that on right. Unfortunately, 14 of you were incorrect. Well, hopefully you can still be able to use those extra lives there. Alrighty then. Now, SUVs can carpool people to and from different extracurricular activities like soccer practice, academic decathlon, or even school orchestra competitions, where violins and violas play their instruments using this particular string plucking technique. John Williams uses this sort of string. Temple of Doom soundtrack, where that's all you hear. It's actually one of my favorite tracks in the entire run there. Let's just say that your bow could use the rest. Though your fingers might need a little bit of resin there. It's the source of many a callus on the fingers of violinists and violists everywhere when you're playing pizzicato. And it looks like that 21 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 13 of you got scratched. Again, hopefully you could be able to use those extra lives. Alrighty. Playing a musical instrument takes a lot of practice. It also involves muscle memory, sight reading, maintaining tempo, and for a lot of instruments, dexterity of the fingers. To maintain the flexibility, yet you still feel good to a satisfying crack. Still, though, do so with caution, because if it starts to hurt, stop. This has been your PSA for today. Okay. It's a sound that could be either satisfying or annoying. The sound when you crack your knuckles is called crepitus. Crepitus, that's an interesting word right there. I believe it's Latin there. And it looks like that 8 of you managed to get that one right. 18 of you could not crack the puzzle. Well, hopefully, again, you could be able to use those extra lives there. But yeah, that one got all you schooled there. I'm very sorry about that. Let's change gears and talk about international cuisine instead. There are many unique meals from different cultures around the world. But if you wanted to try a delicious barbecued meat dish from East Africa, this one could be considered the goat. Now, while this Kenyan dish is traditionally cooked with goat meat, it is also prepared with beef and or lamb, alternatively. The answer to this is actually a key Swahili phrase meaning barbecue. Crepitus, that's how you pronounce it there. Thank you very much there, Kay Bendel there. Yes, of course. All right, it is not the national dish of Kenya, but it is served almost everywhere in the country. So be sure to enjoy some Nyama Choma. And 14 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 3 of you got singed on the barbecue there. But again, hopefully you can use those extra lives. Alrighty then. It is now time to go to the movies. Now, this film is a chilling tale of a child psychologist who finds himself drawn into a mysterious case involving a young patient. As their connection deepens, the psychologist uncovers a disturbing truth that will change his life forever. Yo no quiero morir. Do not Google this because it'll offer you suicide hotline numbers there. But anyway, it is tough to discuss this film and its plot without giving it away. Even some of the lines from the movie have become somewhat iconic. Needless to say, it garnered a lot of attention when it came out at the end of the last century. And not just for its cast or even the twist, but also for its director. For this movie was his directorial debut. Alrighty then. The clue was a line that was recorded in the background of Vincent Gray's therapy session with Dr. Malcolm Crowe. If you can see dead people, then you just might have the sixth sense. And all of you managed to get that one right. None of you have expired. Beautiful. All right. If you're still in it to win it, give yourself a pat on the back because we are now officially halfway through tonight's game. Now, let's dive into a little history. And a little history there. Sorry. For over the last 2 centuries, campaign slogans for presidential campaigns have been used to keep candidates' presence in the minds of voters. One of the first widely used campaigns in American history was pretty far back, but not so far back that people wore powdered wigs. Yes, that's a little bit of a pun there, and we are talking about the actual party there. Anyway, more recent slogans include Dwight Eisenhower's Dixon's "They Can't Lick Our Oh, wait, sorry. One of the first campaign slogans for an American presidential campaign was for the Whig Party's William Henry Harrison, who died in 30 days, as the Simpsons put it, after he won the presidency. He and his running mate John Tyler ran under the slogan, Tippecanoe and Tyler too. And looks at all, you managed to get that one right. Fantastic. Beautiful. Alrighty then. Let's just keep on moving then. William Henry Harrison served the shortest term in American presidential history. His brief tenure was marked by a combination of factors, including his advanced age and a relative lack of experience in the federal government. While it was illness that ultimately contributed to his untimely demise, in a lot of ways his presidency could have been undermined by overconfidence. Conversely, someone with a lot of experience could be underconfident in their abilities as well. Now, this is a psychological phenomenon that's only been around for the past 25 years, but it has made quite a splash in that time. Okay, here we go. The phenomenon is a cognitive bias that often leads to a significant gap between perceived and actual ability. It is also known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. And 10 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 5 of you were a little bit underconfident in that one there. So, very sorry about that one there. Anyway, it is now time for a little art appreciation. Yeah, we're all over the place with this one. The painting that we're talking about is a vibrant depiction of a nighttime scene. It's filled with a wintry forest backdrop, and in the center, seemingly lost in the moment, stands a lone costumed couple. This painting was done by Henri Rousseau back in 1886. Rousseau was a self-taught artist whose works appealed to the collectors and avant-garde artists of the early 20th century, including renowned Cubist artist Pablo Picasso. I was already doing the chat there. Saw the effect too late. Today, smarter day. Today is not smarter day. All right, here we go. Now, this painting in particular is currently in the Philadelphia Museum of Art. If you're so inclined to see it, its title is Carnival Evening. And 7 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 5 of you were incorrect, but hopefully, once again, you can be able to use those extra lives there. Alrighty then. Now, earlier, yes, we're going back to this, where you talked about William Henry Harrison, who died at the age of 68. Actually, he did die at the age of 68, but who at the age of 68 was the oldest man to be inaugurated as president at the time, a record that wouldn't be topped for almost 140 years when Ronald Reagan would be inaugurated just a month short of turning 70. On the other side of the animal kingdom, this creature is the vertebrate with the shortest lifespan. It's a type of fish that's found throughout the tropical waters of the Indo-West Pacific area, from the Seychelles to Micronesia. Its lifespan is about 56 days. And yes, we're not talking about the goldfish or the guppy or the grouper or the flounder or anything like that. Okay. Its taxonomic name is Aviota sigillata, but colloquially, it is known as the 7-figure pygmy goby. And 6 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 2 of you were reeled in, but hopefully, again, you can be able to use those extra lives there. Alrighty, it is now time for the penultimate puzzle. It's the last chance for you to use those extra lives to stay in the game, so let's get to it. This book is a groundbreaking work of early modern pedagogy. The book's innovative approach to education has had a lasting impact on the development of educational materials for children. It features a series of detailed illustrations and accompanying texts, designed to introduce young minds to a wide range of subjects. In fact, it's attributed to be the first widely used, even older than See Spot Run. Okay. Published in 1657 by Czech educator John Amos Comenius, this encyclopedic teaching device has a title that translates to the visible world in pictures, or Orbis Sensualium Pictus. And it's half and half. 3 of you managed to get that one right. Unfortunately, 3 of you, well, hopefully, and some of the 3 of you will be able to get back into this here, because are you ready? Because it's now time for the final puzzle. If you made it this far, be proud, but be humble, because if you get this puzzle right, you'll win or share that cash prize. No extra lives, no mercy. Here we go. When lightning strikes, its intense heat can melt sand and soil, forming long tubular structures of glass. These fossils of lightning have often have intricate branching patterns that reflect the path of the electrical discharge. Now, while he didn't discover the material, this mineralogist first identified how fulgurite is formed. This is the last puzzle, so no hints from me at all. Good luck. This will be interesting. Fulgurite tubes have been seen by Persian polymaths since the 11th century, but without knowing their true origination. It wasn't until 1805 when it was discovered that fulgurite was formed by lightning. That discovery was made by the German mineralogist Johann Carl Wilhelm Voigt. And 3 of you have managed to win tonight's episode of HQTV Words. Congratulations to all. That one was a bit of a doozy, I gotta tell you. All right, you came, you saw, you solved. We've each put the $5, which comes to you can be able to use that. You can be able to add that onto your winnings there. As always, thanks again to the HQTV crew. It's a pleasure, an honor, and a personal thrill to host these games. And of course, thanks to all of you for joining us and for your patience. Be sure to tell your friends to prep the app and follow the HQTV Twitter feed at PlayHQTV for all updates. And if you haven't already, be sure to join the HQTV Community by chatting it up with fellow fans and get additional notifications for upcoming games by signing up at our Discord. Take a screen cap of the game right now, I guess. Well, I don't see the Discord thing. There you go. Take a screen cap of the game right now and use the QR code or web address to join in. We're also looking for hosts, writers, and more in the HQTV crew. Send a direct message to the crew via the HQTV Twitter or Discord and let us know how you would like to volunteer. Special thanks to the creators of HQ Words' graphics, music, sounds, and development, including Kevin Shand, Mavis Everett, Marcus Eckert, Russell Weiner, Colin Kroll, and countless others. This fan-run project is a labor of love, and it would not have looked nearly as nice without the work that you have all put into it. The 21st, and we will return to the Lexic Confab here on Words Wednesday on the 25th. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter, Threads, and Instagram at FARDMuhammad. I am Prab Muhammad, and this is the anniversary of the attacks on September 11, 2001. The game was not themed to the events of the anniversary, and we carried on like a standard edition of the game, but I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge 9/11 briefly at the end of tonight's show. Our thoughts continue to be with the victims of the attacks in New York, the Pentagon, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The first responders who made the ultimate sacrifice while saving as many as 25,000 people at the World Trade Center, those who were struck by post-9/11 illnesses, the family and friends of the victims and the survivors, and everyone else who had been adversely affected by the events of 23 years ago today. To those who are no longer with us, we bid you peace and eternal rest. For the families, friends, and survivors, we offer our condolences and wish you continued strength and solace in the years ahead. And to everyone, respect and courage. Good night.